is Thursday. It's March 30th, 2017, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Wayne Alley. Pat's on assignment. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning. You know, yesterday was a gorgeous day. We hit the low 70s yesterday. We hit the high 40s overnight. Very pleasant, just a few clouds. Today, more of the same. It's going to be nicer, but a little cooler. We're going to be in the mid and upper 60s today, which is still nice. It's still that time of year where the temperature is going to fluctuate a little bit, but the weather's going to be gorgeous today, so make the most of it. It is a Thursday, the next to the last day, or the penultimate day before the end of March, and then we begin a brand new month. In fact, a brand new quarter on Saturday. Speaking of tomorrow night, the Have a Heart for Kids is going to be taking place. This is to benefit the communities in schools, and this is all taking place at the Terrace Room on South Center Street in downtown Goldsboro. It's $40 a person, $70 a couple, and it all starts at 6 p.m. with sparkles and spirits and hors d'oeuvres and entertainment of all kinds and a silent auction and a raffle. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and it all will benefit the communities in schools, and hope you're able to attend that. All right, now today, no, that was yesterday. Coming up in April, toward the end of the month of April, I'd love for you to attend this right here. It's one of my favorite events. It's the Eggs and Issues Legislative Breakfast taking place over at Lane Tree, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce of Wayne County and a whole bunch of people. Starts at 8 o'clock, and that will be Senator Don Davis and Senator Lewis Pate, Representative Jimmy Dixon, Larry Bell, and John Bell will all be on hand to let you know what's going on in Raleigh. It's the legislative breakfast that's going to be taking place April 28th, beginning at 8 o'clock at Lane Tree Conference Center. It's $15 for chamber members, $25 for non-members, but everybody's invited to attend. And you can RSVP by calling Linda at the chamber, and her number is 919-734-2241, 734-2241. Okay? Love going to that. That's a lot of fun. Okay, we got your spring break camp coming up on April 17th for kids in the ages of 6 to 13. It's only $50 a child, and they're going to spend the entire week skating and bowling and fishing and all kinds of sports activities, sponsored by the Parks and Recreation Department, City of Goldsboro. Here you go, $50 a child, spring break camp. And if you want to know more about this, so go ahead and register and sign your child up. It's 919-739-7491. If you're changing careers or considering changing careers, and maybe you're a little nervous about doing the interview that will get you that career, well, here's a program that'll help you. It's being offered today, this afternoon at the Goldsboro Family Y. I think Heath Radford is the presenter of this. It's called Acing the Interview. Now, Heath will give you, tell you how you can go online, find free online resources available with your library card that can help you ace your job interview. If you want to nail this down and you want to get that job, you're going to have to pass that interview with flying colors, right? All right, well, here's how you can do it. You go this afternoon at 4 o'clock to the Goldsboro Public Library, Wayne County Public Library on East Ash Street. It's 1001 East Ash. 4 o'clock it begins. It only goes for an hour. And you'll need your library card. Now, if you don't have a library card, you can sign up right there and get one. It's very simple, very easy to do. You just need something with your name and address on it, some kind of verification of your name and address. And but it's called Career Boot Camp, Acing the Interview, and it'll be going on today at 4 o'clock. And then tomorrow, or Saturday, they've got one called Online Shopping. I don't know if I even need to be telling you about this. Do I need to be telling you about where you can go shopping online? Learn terms related to online shopping, how to keep your online transactions private, and how to look up online businesses in the Better Business Bureau. There you go. That'll help you and protect you. You know, because you really, really, really have to be careful when you're shopping online. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Okay, let's go over this a couple more times, all right, about the rabies clinics. You know, if this wasn't so important, I wouldn't be reading it and letting you know about it so much. And maybe somebody has missed this, so let's go over this a couple more times. We got a rabies clinic coming up this Saturday, April 1st. 2 clinics, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Now, in northern Wayne County, you can have your pet vaccinated for rabies at Eastern Wayne High School beginning at 8 o'clock. In the afternoon, you can go to Southern Wayne High School at 1 o'clock. Eastern Wayne at 8, Southern Wayne at 1. Now this Saturday, the cost is only $5. They have cut that in half. It used to be $10. $5 to get your pet vaccinated. Now, every owner, that is the owner of every dog and every cat in Wayne County, must have a rabies vaccine. Every dog or cat over 4 months of age shall have the animal vaccinated. The animal will be vaccinated against rabies. Any animal receiving its first rabies vaccine shall receive another dose 1 year later and every 3 years thereafter. Now, check this out. Have your driver's license with you, and if your license does not have your current address, let the staff know what your correct address is when they're filling out your certificate, so that your correct address is on the certificate. That's the reason for the address, needing the address. Proof of a prior vaccination is required to receive a 3-year vaccination. If proof is not provided, then a 1-year vaccination will be administered. Okay? Okay, what else have we here? I'll tell you what, let's go on. We're going to talk to George Racher now about the Shriners Fish Fry that's coming up next Friday, coming up a week from tomorrow. I'm all excited about that. I love the fish fry. I love the Shriners. They do such good work. So let's go on and have our interview up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the colors and the playing of the national anthem. Thank you. Please have your seats. Good morning. My name is Master Sergeant Ben Ackerman, Vice Chairman for the Wayne County Veterans and Patriots Coalition, and your host for today's ceremony. We are honored to have all of you, our friends, family, and leaders from the City of Goldsboro, Wayne County, and Seymour Johnson Air Force Base in attendance with us today. More importantly, we would like to recognize today the men and women who we call Vietnam veterans. Would all Vietnam veterans in attendance today please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Sorry, I was trying to clap and not let my papers fly away at the same time. Apologize. On 29 March 1974, President Richard Nixon established the first Vietnam Veterans Day. It signified the 1-year anniversary of the return of the last combat troops from Vietnam, but also the last day the prisoners of war held in North Vietnam arrived on American soil. The Vietnam War is a story of sacrifice and dedication as service members from all colors, creeds, and backgrounds, banded together with the South Vietnamese Army and other allies to do what we do best as Americans: defend the rights of a free people from the oppression of tyranny and hate. On 12 January 1962, the U.S. marked its first combat mission against the Viet Cong when U.S. Army pilots lifted more than 1,000 South Vietnamese service members to capture a National Liberation Front stronghold near Saigon. Operation Chopper, as it was known, was the start of more than a decade of conflict where we saw more than 3 million Americans serve and over 58,000 make the ultimate sacrifice. The men and women who served during the Vietnam War fought a cruel and torturous enemies, rough field conditions, endless hours of conflict, and the loss of their brothers and sisters in arms on the battlefield. The greatest atrocity of it all, though, is the hardships they faced when they got home, where after fighting a politically unpopular war, they were shunned, spat on, and generally neglected. This generation of heroes were not offered the hero's welcome they deserved, and returned bearing both visible and not so visible scars of a battlefield that was unforgiving and a nation that was almost as unwelcoming. Of the nearly 22,000 veterans in Wayne County, it is estimated that half of those are registered with the Veterans Administration. It is further estimated that of that 11,000, nearly 70% of those are Vietnam-era veterans. It is why we gather today, to recognize the sacrifices of those from the Vietnam War and to offer them a very long overdue welcome home. We also want to take this moment to recognize those that are unable to stand with us today, those that made it back from the battlefield but have succumbed to wounds that were suffered from their sacrifice or have passed as years gone by. We offer them this singular moment of silence. And finally, we recognize those that still remain unaccounted for. These Americans were either captured or went missing during the 11 years this conflict went on and have not yet been returned home. Their families deprived of that closure, hoping every day to have their loved one return home to them. Of the 1,613 service members identified as casualties from the state of North Carolina, 39 of those remain unaccounted for. Some of them from right here in Wayne County. Heroes like Air Force First Lieutenant Murray Borden, a F-4 Phantom Navigator from Goldsboro, who, while on a combat mission in North Vietnam, was shot down on 13 October 1966 in his aircraft as they targeted enemy forces in the Quang Binh province, 10 miles north of the DMZ. There is also Master Sergeant William Sutton, a pararescueman from Goldsboro, who went missing in action, presumed dead, after his Sikorsky HH-53 helicopter was shot down in North Vietnam on 28 January 1970, as he and the helicopter crew that he was on attempted to rescue two F-105 Golf Thunder Chief crew members who were shot down by a North Vietnamese air-to-air missile as they attempted to take out surface-to-air missile sites. Finally, there's this story. After the pullout of the troops, the Vietnamese communist troops began retaking city after city, finally taking Saigon on April 30th, 1975. A few weeks later, a U.S. merchant ship, the Mayaguez, was captured by Khmer Rouge troops. Anchored off the island Koh Tang near Cambodia, the Mayaguez ship was found abandoned by the USS Holt, one of a few U.S. Navy ships sent to seize the ship and rescue the crew. Assuming the crew had been moved to a nearby island, the U.S. military contingent comprised of Navy vessels, Air Force Jolly Green Giant helicopters, and the Marines of 2nd Battalion 9th Marines assaulted the island of Koh Tang from the east and the west, while aircraft from nearby U.S. Navy carriers conducted strikes on the military camps. A landing team comprised of nearly 230 Marines were ferried by helicopter from nearby bases and ships, expecting to overwhelm and surround the Cambodian camps and rescue the U.S. crew. As the first troops began to offload on both beaches, the Cambodians opened fire. On the western beach, one helicopter was hit and flew crippled to ditch in the ocean about a mile away. The pilot had just disembarked his passengers and he was rescued at sea. Meanwhile, the eastern landing zone had become a disaster. The first two helicopters were met by enemy fire. They were told to expect between 20 and 40 Khmer Rouge soldiers on the island. Instead, between 150 and 200 were encountered. First, Lieutenant John Schramm, a helicopter pilot, his helicopter tore apart and crashed into the surf after the rotor system was hit. All aboard made a dash for the tree line on the beach. The story would be repeated as more assaults were made, some helicopters landing successfully, while others were damaged or downed. By mid-morning, when Cambodians on the mainland began receiving reports of the assault, they ordered the crew of the Mayagez on a Thai fishing vessel and were left. The Mayagez crew was recovered by the USS Wilson before the 2nd Marines was deployed, but the second wave was ordered to attack anyway. Late in the afternoon, the assault force had consolidated its position on the western landing zone, and the eastern landing zone was evacuated at 6 p.m. By the end of the 14-hour operation, most of the Marines were extracted from the island safely, with 50 wounded. As the final U.S. forces were withdrawn, a small 3-man machine gun squad was left behind to guard the perimeter. They had run out of ammo and were ordered to evacuate on the last helicopter, but in the fog of war were left behind and their absence not realized until the next day. It was their last contact. Lance Corporal Joseph N. Hargrove, born on 15 May 1951 in Mount Olive, North Carolina, was on that fire team, along with Private First Class Gary Hall and Private Danny G. Marshall. They were declared missing in action as of 15 May 1975. That was Lance Corporal Hargrove's 24th birthday. He is among the 39 from North Carolina still accounted for. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to recognize his wife, Gail, who is in attendance with us today. All heroes have their own stories, and all heroes have families who sit and await news. It is for them that we offer this flag folding ceremony. A ceremony performed at all military funerals as a final salute to those that have fallen. For more than 200 years, the American flag has been the symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white, in a blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape and design of the flag evolved into a flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardiness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both at home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies on constellation of Air Force satellites that circle our globe, and on the fin flash of an aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every American who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on the United States of America, nor on the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has been spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's servicemen and women remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag and giving it a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, we have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict on lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave. As we close today's ceremony, I want to thank the Seymour Johnson Air Force Base Honor Guard for their participation in today's ceremony. I also want to thank you, the special guests from all over who came out to help me honor those who served during the Vietnam War. Finally, I want to thank those that served during that time and their families. Know that your sacrifice has not gone unnoticed or unappreciated. As President Calvin Coolidge famously said on 27 July 1920, "The nation which forgets its defenders will itself be forgotten." Let us not forget those that have borne the burden of battle. Please join us across the street at the Wayne County Museum for refreshments following the ceremony. Thank you, drive safe, and may God bless America.
We are back on Wayne Goldsboro Television on this Thursday morning. Hope you're doing well today. It is a gorgeous day. It's going to be a little cooler today than it was yesterday, but wasn't yesterday beautiful? Woohoo! It was, and today's going to be just as nice, but in the upper 60s today. All right. No mention of rain. That's okay. That's okay. Wayne Community College is hosting a free workshop for landowners with forests on their land. This is for forest landowners, and it's today. The College of Natural Resources of North Carolina State University providing the Seeing Forest Products in Standing Forest Landowner Workshop. That's today from 9 to 4. It's an all-day affair. It will inform forest landowners how to walk through their forest to better understand what forest products can come from specific types of forests. It is one of 4 that will be held across the state of North Carolina. And ours is at Wayne Community College today. Now you can register today between 8 and 9 o'clock. They're going to have coffee available in the seminar room. This will all be taking place in the Wayne Learning Center, which is the main building on campus. That's one of the 3 flagpoles out front. Lunch can be bought. If you want to have lunch, it'll be about $10. Harry Watt is the contact person for details, and he is in a 704 area code, but by the time you see this program, he'll be on his way, or he will be here, or it'll be almost over. So I'm not even going to give you that phone number. All right, we've got Communities in Schools is asking you to say yes to the prom dress event. Communities in Schools of Wayne County and Tara Murdoch are working to provide formal prom dresses to Wayne County high school girls who want to attend a prom but lack the financial resources. And they are accepting donations. Now, here are the guidelines. Dresses may be long or short. Dresses should be clean and in good condition, please. Shawls or wraps and shoes and jewelry are also being accepted in good condition. Dress shop location, drop-off location is the Communities and Schools office in the Chamber of Commerce building on North William Street, right behind Wells Fargo. And that's at 308 North William. Pickup service available. Call Sharon if you have questions at 919-738-7140. They're also going to have a dress giveaway. That'll be coming up on, that'll be coming on April 26th at 6 p.m. in the Belk Home Store. All right, and you can call Sharon again and get more information about that, 919-738-7140. Now, let's see what's special about today. Today's the 30th. Today is, I mentioned yesterday was grass is always brown on the other side of the fence day. That wasn't yesterday, that's today. I misread it. That's today. Grass is always browner on the other side of the fence day. Well, the old saying goes, the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Well, that's just a misnomer, not a misnomer, but it's just a misspeak. It's not always green on the other side of the fence as people would think. And this kind of drives it home. Grass is always browner on the other side of the fence. Anyway, that goes way back. Today is also pencil day. So use a pencil. Thank your pencil for being a number 2. Okay? All righty. Let's see now. We don't have a trivia question today, so we'll just move right on along to our next portion of the program. That's up next. Wayne, Goldsboro Television. This is our Crime Stoppers report for this week. We welcome Coordinator Sergeant Jason Adams from the Goldsboro Police Department.
How you doing, sir?
I'm fine, Sergeant. Hope you are.
I am doing well.
By the way, this is Crime Stoppers, and our new coordinator is Sergeant Adams, and we appreciate you coming in every week. And this is a recent promotion for you. And again, I've congratulated you one time already, but I want to do it again. This is quite a job for you.
Yes, it is. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Okay, what's on our list today?
So today we're talking about an incident that happened this past Monday on March 27th.
Okay.
Right around 12:30 p.m. It was an attempted robbery and a firing into occupied vehicle.
Ah,
so,
okay.
Pretty serious. It happened at the Speedway on Highway 70 near Claire's Nursery, which is the address is 1501 U.S. Highway 70 West. So.
Okay, well, let me ask you, you say it was an armed robbery. Was he robbing the car, or was he robbing the Speedway?
So he was robbing a person in a vehicle.
Okay.
They had planned to meet there for a purchase of some shoes. And kind of they've been communicating and stuff, so they agreed on that location, being a public location and stuff. So
which is very smart.
Correct. The victim came down and they met there, and when they met, the individual, they interacted, and at that point he produced a handgun and displayed it, and was trying to rob him of the money that he was going to be paying for the shoes, but didn't take that instead. So
wow.
At that point, a struggle kind of ensued between the two of them, and the firearm actually went off and discharged. No one was hurt or shot, but there was damage to the vehicle and stuff to that. And at that point, the suspect left. The victim's calling, reporting it, and stayed there at the location. Suspect flees in a burgundy Ford Taurus. So we have some photos of a possible person of...
Is that the guy there?
This possible person of interest.
Okay.
Later in the evening, some video surveillance was obtained by the Goldsboro Police Department after they were canvassing the area and such.
Well, those are pretty good pictures.
Yeah, they are.
So he's a possible person of interest in this case.
Correct. Anybody that might know this individual, looks like he might have a tattoo on his right arm there, and very distinguishable face.
Okay, so he's thin. He's very thin.
Yeah, thin build. Looks kind of tall to be.
Is that a mustache he's wearing?
He
little
looks,
goatee?
Yeah, looks like a little goatee and a mustache there in the photo. No beard or anything like that we could tell.
Okay, so he tried to rob the man of the money he had come to buy the shoes.
Correct.
So is it felt that this is that this was a ruse to begin with? That
It possibly
guy,
could have been,
yeah.
yes. Now, that's kind of what we're, that's what the investigators are looking at and stuff, trying to, find out was this, just a setup.
So the buyer is very wise, and this is a good lesson for people too, that if you're buying from one of the online sites,
Correct.
it's a good idea to meet your party at a public location, such as the police department.
Correct. Your police department, we have our parking lot, even inside the police department.
Inside would be fine.
Where we have a lobby and a main area.
Yeah.
Especially
or the sheriff's office, or a local fire department.
Yeah, or just well-lit areas, where it's public places, that where safety is a concern.
Right.
So another thing is this individual was by himself. The buyer was, and so was the subject that attempted to rob him. So bring somebody with you. Travel in pairs.
That's
kind
a good
of
idea.
The old saying, travel in pairs and stuff. So if you have someone that can go with you and everything, two of you is better than just the one. So, because sometimes when you have two, it's a little bit more difficult. So it kind of spreads their attention a little bit.
It could make the bad guy think twice. about
Correct.
trying to rob somebody. Now that's not saying that everybody that tries to sell you something online is a bad person.
No. But you can take precautions because
Sure
you just don't know, especially if you've never met them and they're a stranger.
Yeah.
So it's something we teach you little kids, stranger danger. It's something that as adults we should take into consideration as well.
That is exactly right. All right, so what do we do if we see this person?
So anybody that may have seen him or they know who he is, they can call Crime Stoppers that number or text, and that number is 919-735-2255. They'll remain anonymous, and again, these are felony charges and stuff, so they are eligible for a cash reward up to $1,000. But we want them to remain anonymous and stuff. Just give us a call, and we don't want names. They don't have to go to court or anything on that.
And that's important.
Yeah, it is.
So if you have any information on this guy, again, the number is 919-735-2255, and as Sergeant Adams said, you remain anonymous. They don't want to know who you are. You will not have to go to court. They just need to make an arrest.
Yes, sir.
And in that case, you could receive a reward of up to $1,000.
Yes,
Up
sir.
to.
Up to.
Up to $1,000. All right. Jason, thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right, sir.
Andrew, Adam, Nora, David, Robert, Edward, William, Sam. First, phonetically, it's Adam, Henry, John, Adam.
We're back on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Thank you for being with us. Today is Thursday. It's the 30th of the month of March. Oh boy. Almost to the end of the quarter. Okay, and let me remind you again, this program is on Monday through Friday. We start at 7 a.m., it repeats at noon, then it repeats at 5:30 p.m. And if you miss any of that and there's something that you'd like to see, you can catch us on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. You go to waynegov.com, waynegov.com, click on the link in the upper right-hand corner, the little red dot that takes you directly to our YouTube channel. You also need to check out our Facebook page, our dynamic, fantastic, outstanding Facebook page. There's a link there as well in the upper right-hand corner of our waynegov.com website. Okay? Oh, yeah. All right. And Pat does a great job with that. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else we have here. Okay, we've got from the Goldsboro Wayne County Public Library. We've got origami, or is that origami? It's origami. At the Goldsboro Library, excuse me, April 13th. Relax and enjoy yourself while creating beautiful paper art at this origami class. It's going to be beginning at 4 o'clock on April 13th. And then on April 11th, a couple of days before that, April 11th, I've never heard of this, Sharon Schnitter is German, and it means scissor cuts. Sharon Schnitter. And it's learn how to use the German art of scissor cuts to make beautiful Easter cards. And this is going to be on April 11th at 2 p.m. Class supplies are limited to 12 students. Registration is required. You have to call and register for this. 919-735-1824, 919-735-1824. And line, then hit extension 5130. 5130, or just call that number 735-1824 and tell them you want to sign up for the paper cutting class on April 11th. Okay, and computer classes abound at the library as well. Mousing around and keyboard basics being offered on April 7th. That's next Friday. The class is intended for beginning computer users, and in it you'll learn how to work a mouse and a keyboard. Yes. What else have we here? Don't forget counseling for women veterans. If you're a woman and you are a veteran, there's counseling available in a group setting. You can get together and discuss readjustment issues, becoming more educated about PTSD, and learn to work with family members, learn how to work with family members who might not understand your situation. That's the second Wednesday of each month, and it begins at 10 a.m. at the Goldsboro Veterans Services Office on East Ash Street, 2101D East Ash Street in Goldsboro. Today, 9 o'clock, is Ag Day at J.R. and Emily Odom's farm on Claridge Nursery Road. Ag Day. You go out Claridge Nursery Road, you can't miss the sign. Plus, there's going to be a ton of school buses out there as well. See, this is for children, but it's also open to the public. It's Ag Day. You learn about farming, and you learn about what makes a good meal for your table and from where it comes. Yeah, you learn all about that stuff. It's going to be all kinds of displays and demonstrations set up, and you can watch the FHA students showing and teaching the second graders about these things. It's a lot of fun. It's very educational, and there's going to be a lot of people out there. It's going to be a lot of fun. Did I mention that? I think I did. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's today from 9 o'clock this morning until 3 this afternoon. So I hope you're able to attend that. If you have a few minutes, come on out. It will be entertaining and it will be fun. All right. If you would like to, pardon me, thank you. But if you'd like to become one of the vendors at the Goldsboro Farmers Market, which will be opening soon, there's going to be a vendors thing held on April 12th at 11 o'clock at the W.A. Foster Recreation Center on South John Street. If you'd like to attend, perhaps become a vendor, or maybe find out what it would take to become a vendor, you may not want to. You may or may not. But go to this meeting and find out for sure. Goldsboro Parks and Recreation holding an information session for anyone interested in being part of this year's Farmers Market. April 12th, 11 a.m. at the W.A. Foster Recreation Center. Here's a phone number you can call to get more information. The number is 919-739-7484. 739-7484. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today. We're going to do this again bright and early tomorrow morning. I don't know where we'll be. We'll be somewhere over the rainbow. We'll be somewhere tomorrow, okay? Anyway, I hope you're able to join us. So for Bria McCoy, for Pat Garner, I'm Wayne Alley, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.